Looking at codominance and incomplete dominance and sex-linked traits. So get this out if you haven't already, and let's talk it through. This was the first chunk. I got most of it done, but I didn't get all of it done, so there's a few that we can talk about. The first chunk had you guys looking at, it was the exact same scenario. You had a homozygous dominant parent crossed with a homozygous recessive parent. The first one was complete dominance, which is what we started with, then incomplete, then co. And it asked you to look at the resulting phenotypes. Because for each, the resulting genotypes are all the same. All the resulting genotypes are heterozygous. Put your phones away. They don't need to be out. Flip it over at least. Teeth are great. There's nothing in your teeth. Preet, good after lunch. Favorite decade? You don't know? Okay. So, all of them are heterozygous. If they're heterozygous and you're looking at a trait that's complete dominance, if the red is completely dominant, a heterozygous set of offspring is all going to be totally red. Number 2 is incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is when there's the blending. So what happens if they're blending? Again, all of them are heterozygous, but now you're going to see the blend of red and white. Blend of red and white makes pink. Question 3, is codominance is the same thing. I've now got all of them are heterozygous. So what does it mean if you have a heterozygous genotype with a codominance set of traits? If they're codominant, it means both traits will be expressed fully. It means that for a heterozygous set of offspring with a codominant trait, so in this case, the red flowers breeding with the white flowers would produce red and white flowers. So codominance gives you the both colors, incomplete gives you the blend, and then complete dominance would just all be red. Comments, questions, concerns on that page? Going once, twice, thrice, sold. I see Instagram and Snapchat open on phones. Put your phones down. Unless you're actually taking pictures of my notes, then that's okay. I'm also recording this, and it's going to be on YouTube, so you can look at it later there too. This was your second set of questions. It asked for the genotypes first, guys. Imparis. Question 4-6 asked for genotypes of red snapdragons, pink snapdragons, and white, after it gave you kind of a paragraph description of what was going on. And then it had you breed a bunch of these parents together and get a bunch of genotypic and phenotypic ratios. Those were, actually, I'll zoom in on this so it's easier to see. Comments, questions, concerns on any part of question 4-6. Snapdragons. Is there anything there anyone would like me to look at? Elijah, could you do me a favor and shut the door? Thank you, sir. Okay, hearing no questions, it means either this was super easy or all y'all are just copying my work. Either way, let's move on. 7-9 looked at horses. Brown versus white versus Palomino. If any of you have played Red Dead Redemption or are horse people, this will mean something to you. How do you get a Palomino? Well, you get a Palomino by taking a brown horse and a white horse, breeding them, and getting tan offspring. That Palomino is that tan. So if you breed a brown and a white, all of them are going to be Palomino because all of them are going to have big B, little b. A brown and a Palomino is going to be 50-50, brown Palomino. And then a Palomino-Palomino blend is going to be 25% brown, 25% white, 50% Palomino, which means Palominos are not considered to be a purebred line of horses because you breed them with themselves, you do not get exclusively Palomino offspring. So no, you cannot have a purebred Palomino. Is that an expression of confusion? Okay. Because I'm happy to explain. Memphis, you good? Okay. What kind of Slurpee is that?
Huh?
What kind of Slurpee is that?
I don't know, my friend just gave me.
A mix of all sorts of things?
Yeah, because since I had to stay here.
Yeah. You brought. That's very kind of your friend.
Yeah, no.
Is it a good Slurpee?
Yeah.
Nice. So if you wanted to breed the maximum number of Palominos in the shortest period of time, brown horse and a white horse is going to guarantee you a Palomino offspring every time. Comments, questions, concerns about horses or Red Dead Redemption? Going once. Yes.
Did you finish the third one?
The which?
Did you finish Red Dead Redemption 2 third one?
I finished 2. I haven't finished 1 yet. I started with 2.
They're both really good.
It wasn't out on the PlayStation that I had when 2 came out, so I couldn't go back and play 1. But I've got it on Steam. I just haven't played it yet.
What ending did you get?
The good one. I can't bring myself to play as Evil Arthur. I tried. I just couldn't do it. Because he's a complicated dude, Arthur.
Yeah.
And so I like to push the complicated dude to the better side.
I saved my copy before like the last mission, and then
You play it either way?
yeah, so I got good and bad.
Nice. Okay, codominance. I gave you guys a worksheet on blood types. So it didn't have, some of you who know your blood types, there's multiple ways to type blood. There's the ABO letter system, and then there's the Rh positive, Rh negative antigen system. So for this one, we're ignoring the positive and negativeness of it all. We're just looking at A, B, and O. So these were my answers to the front page here. Given the description way up at the top, should zoom this out a little bit here. Yes. Okay. Wait, was it on the blood type one or was it on the horse one? Okay. So this one, the first question is just asking you to interpret the data from the chart above. The second one is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I don't know why those two. We could pick any couple. But we got a type B. Actually, he's homozygous. So that, yeah, which I did. This is Brad Pitt. That's Angelina type O. All of their kids are going to be IBO or the IBI. What are you going to say, Angel? Never mind, okay. The Punnett squares are here for number 3 is over here. Complete the Punnett square showing all possible blood types for offspring produced by a type O mother and an AB father. So type O is just II, and then AB is IAIB. So these are the offspring. Either they're going to be 50-50. Well, it's going to be 50-50 heterozygous A and heterozygous B. And then Mr. and Mrs. Brown have 3 children, allegedly. Mr. Brown must have the genotype II, because it says up there he's type O. And Mrs. Brown must be IAI. Because there is a type O child, the only way you're going to have that is if Mrs. Brown is heterozygous, because that's how you're going to get the II showing up. And Luke cannot be their son. Luke is adopted, or perhaps Luke is a stepchild. Perhaps he is Mr. Brown's son from a previous relationship. But Luke cannot be related to... Actually, no. Luke is not related to either parent. He is definitely adopted. Yeah, he's definitely adopted. Oh, no. No, he could be Mrs. Brown's son and Mr. Brown's stepson. But he's not related, because to the whole family, Cannot have both parents because there's no IB. Someone somewhere had to show up for Luke to have that type B blood. So Luke does not belong to both of those parents. Let's go with adopted. Adopted is better than the alternative. Adopted or Mrs. Brown cheated. Those are the only two options here. I prefer to believe Luke was adopted. Nope, Luke was adopted. You said adopted first, we're going to go for it. Well, look here. Let's see if cheating's an option. Mrs. Brown is, what was she? She is heterozygous IA. So if she's heterozygous, IA and I, that means the other parent could have been, well, the B has to show up somewhere else, but this is Mrs. Brown, so she could absolutely have the AB blood type child with somebody else. This could be Luke, this could be Mrs. Brown, or these could be totally different parents, like not Mr. or Mrs. Brown. So either Luke has a different dad or two totally different parents. Either way, Luke is at most half siblings with Matthew and Mark. He could be an adopted sibling as well. So, here we go. Next one. This is an interesting one. So, two parents think their baby was switched at a hospital. This happened more often than you might think. It's 1968, so DNA typing does not yet exist. The mother has type O, the father is type AB. The baby is type O. Is that possible? Why not? If dad is AB, so that's going to be IAIB. Mom is type O, so she's going to be II. Can you have a type O baby born from a type O and a type AB parent? No. So this type O baby is not theirs. Cannot be theirs. Some baby was switched. No, the question is, was the baby switched to the hospital? Answer is yes. Who doesn't get it? Who did I lose? Well, now we're good? Okay, next one. So we've got Amy and Steven. I don't know who Amy and Steven are. They also think their baby was switched to the hospital. Amy has the blood type A and Steven is type B. Priscilla, the baby, has the blood type AB. So, if mom is type A, she is either IAI or IAIA. Dad is going to be IBI or IBIB. The baby's genotype is IAIB. Is it possible for these two parents to have that kind of child? Yes, it is. Could the baby be theirs? Yes. Does this guarantee that the baby is theirs? No. But it goes a long way to verifying parentage. Okay. And then for fun, okay, guys, for fun, let's look at questions 7 and 8. Based on the information in this table, which men could not be the father of the baby? So, this is... Yes, Imparis. Sorry? No, I mean, there's could be the father. There's not is the father. It's like this is like a daytime TV, like Maury Povich kind of scenario. You are not the father kind of scenario. You don't necessarily know who it is, but you know that there isn't one. Okay, so we know it's quite easy. Okay, guys, keep it together. I know the nature of the question makes it easy to get all uppity about it. We know that baby belongs to mother because presumably somebody was present when baby came out of the mother. So, and a mother would know whether or not surrogacy is a thing. So, baby and mother are related. For baby and mother to be related, if mother is type A and baby is type B, then mom has to have what? What does the genotype have to be? IAI, good. Mom has to be IAI. Because if mom was IAIA, then baby could only be AB, if B is present at all. So, here's mom, IAI, and somehow baby shows up over here, IBI, or baby could be, no, it has to be that way. IBI is the only way a type B baby is going to show up from a type A mom. So, who could be the dad? Could the mailman, lowercase I, could the mailman be the dad? It's not the mailman. It can't be the mailman. Could it be the butcher? It could be, because butcher is going to be IAIB. Could it be the waiter? No. Could it be the cable guy? It could be the cable guy, because cable guy is going to be IBI or IBB. So, who is not the father? The waiter or the mailman? No and no. We don't know. It might not be the butcher or the cable guy either. If it's a daytime sitcom, you're homesick with the flu, and somehow after Price is Right, you're watching Maury. Or whoever. Is Maury even still on? I don't know. I don't have cable. I don't know what's on these days. We know it's not going to be the butcher or the cable guy. Oh, sorry. We know it's not going to be the mail or the waiter. It could be the butcher or the cable guy. We have no way of knowing. We have no way of knowing. And to make it interesting, the sister of the above mother also for some reason made some life choices and is having issues finding out who her baby is, the father of her baby is. She had the state take a blood test of potential fathers. Based on the information in this table, why was the baby taken away by the state after the test? Take a look here. The mother here. Okay, guys, focus. The mother here is lowercase I. And she's the sister of this mother, IAI. Could mother with type O blood have a baby of type AB? Nope. These two cannot be related. You know what? Unfortunately, it does seem to be that way. Well, it could also be the cab driver or the flight attendant. We have no way of knowing. But we do know. We know without a shadow of the doubt that if these guys only slept with this lady, none of them are the father because this lady cannot have that baby. A type O mother cannot have a type AB baby. They cannot be related. So if she's claiming that this baby is hers, she stole it from someone. You laugh, but it happens. Hey, Himparis, Memphis. Okay, then I wanted you guys to skip ahead and take a look at these. Okay, so there was a set of questions I wanted you to answer. Here they are, gentlemen at the middle table. A sex-linked trait is a trait found on an X or Y chromosome. You betcha. Hemophilia is an X-linked trait, and I can't remember if it was this class or the other class that I explained hemophilia to. Hemophilia is a bleeding disorder. That was you guys? If you have hemophilia, it means your body does not clot the way it is supposed to, for those of you who were away last week. So that even if you got a bruise, you're playing punch. 100 kids don't play punch buggy. You see a VW bug, you punch each other just for fun. It means you can theoretically kill your friend, the hemophiliac, if you hit him hard enough to cause him to bruise. Because a bruise is just internal bleeding. You could theoretically kill your friend playing punch buggy. So, what is the genotype of the following individuals? Hemophilia is an X-linked recessive trait. A man with hemophilia is going to be, let's call it little h, X little hy, and a woman with hemophilia would have to have X little h, X little h. A man with normal clot would then be X big HY, and a carrier woman would be XH, X little h, X big H, X little h, where the normal clotting factor would overpower the recessive hemophilia factor. And a normal blood clotting ability would be X big H, X big H. A woman who is a carrier for hemophilia marries a man with normal blood clotting. What are the possible genome and phenotypes of the children? It may be useful to complete the square, so let's do it. We've got the carrier, X big H, X little h mom, and a normal dad, X big H, Y. Their children are going to be X big H, X big H, X big X, big H, Y, X big H, X little h, or X little h, Y. So the percentages of the genotypes are going to be 25, 50, 0. There's no X little h, X little h. X, oh, whoop, did I screw this up? Nope, I screwed this up. It'll be 25, 25, 0, 25, 25. The only child that cannot be born of this couple is a hemophiliac daughter. Not possible. So what percentage of these are hemophiliac? Just 25%. Just this son is going to have hemophilia. So then 75% of them will have normal clotting ability. And I think I told you guys the example here is, for those of you who have heard of Rasputin and Ra Ra Rasputin, the song, that Russian queen referenced had a son with hemophilia. Okay, flip the page if you haven't already. Okay. Color vision is also recessive X-linked. We looked at this one. What is the probability they'll have a child who is, here we go. A woman has normal color vision and is not a carrier, marries a man with color vision deficiency. So what did we have this go? X little c, Y. She's X big C, X big C. She's not even a carrier. So it's going to be X big C, X little c, X big C, X little c, X big CY, X big CY. What is the probability of having a child with a vision issue? 0. All the girls will be carriers, but they themselves will all see fine. Similar question number 5. A woman with normal vision has a father who's color vision deficient. She marries a child with normal vision. If her dad has color vision deficiency, that is this scenario right here. She is heterozygous big C little c. So she's going to be X big C, X little c, big C little c. And she marries a man with normal vision. He is X big C Y. What's the probability of a child with vision deficiency? X big C, X big C, X big C Y, X big C, X little c, X little c Y. What are the chances she has a kid with color vision issues? 25%. And what chance is it, my question, what chance is it that that child's a boy? If the child has color vision issues, that child will be a boy. Yes, good. Another one issue here is that's X-linked is muscular dystrophy, specifically this Duchenne muscular dystrophy. A mother and father, neither of whom have the condition, have a daughter who is a carrier. What are the genotypes of the children? So let's use, she doesn't have it, but she's a carrier, which means let's use little d to be muscular dystrophy. Big D means she's fine. So this she has to be. Mother and father neither have the condition, but so if dad doesn't have it, he has to have a normal X chromosome. So that means mom has to have a recessive chromosome, but she doesn't have it, so mom also has to have a perfectly normal chromosome. What are the genotypes of the parents? This is what they'd have to be. To not have it, mom and dad both have to have that dominant X chromosome. For the daughter to be a carrier, mom has to be heterozygous. That's okay, so that's yeah. So this is going to be X little dy. This will be X big D, X big D, X big dy. What are the genotypes of the parents? Here they are. And then what is, I'll just draw an arrow to there and to there. What is the probability that their next child will have muscular dystrophy? 25%. There it is. Codominance, incomplete dominance, sex-linked traits. Comments, questions, concerns on all of this? Yes. Any one of you who is leaving, you guys may get your quizzes now. All of you who are leaving, all of you are going to get bonus with all of you. Yes, go quick, and then when you come back, I will show you what your activity is today. Josiah, Q is not here. Soham. Well, he's not here. No, he's not. Kenshin, over here first. You may go. Luca. You know what? I'll bring him here. Luca. Dennis. Angel. You guys can keep these now and use them as note. Oh, I'm so sorry, Angel. Numred. Let's see if I can keep this one. Oh, almost off the note there too. Lanice is here. Yes. I fixed it in the computer. Oh, I did. You want me to change it? Yeah, you guys, there were some mistakes that were made. I changed it in the computer. All of them. It's okay, everyone. Boom. Michael. Elijah. Vikram. Forrest. Gemma. Beer. Alejandro. Lexi's not here. Denise. Liam. And okay. Memphis and Josiah, as you guys are leaving, going to rugby, I'd like you to take one of these with you. Here you go. Best of luck to you gentlemen on what is probably going to be your last game. Well, apparently unless you don't or know it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do today. We've done dragons. Now you guys can do monsters. I'll hand these out and I will explain what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this table. 1, 2, 3 on this table. 1, 2, 3 on this table. I'll make it a breeding monsters. Except it's less work than the dragons. So 1, 2, yes, keep doing that. Okay, so monster genetics. Let's take a look at this. You guys are going to be doing this in partners. So lots of what you have is going to be identical. The only difference is going to be when you guys actually go ahead and make your monsters. You guys are, I don't have a template for you this time. This time you will need to use your own artistic ability or lack thereof. Whatever artistic ability you possess. I'm a lack thereof kind of person. But whatever artistic ability you possess to draw your monsters yourself. It's going to be great. So, procedure. I am giving you, so you'll do this with a partner, or partners. You can do it in a group of 3. You cannot do it in groups of 4, but you can do it. I mean, heck, you could theoretically do it alone, but that's less fun. But that's up to you. So, you guys are going to flip a coin to determine the genotype for each trait of the parents. So, I have dominoes again. You're going to flip dominoes. For each one of these, you're going to flip a coin. Or a domino rather. If you flip heads for the first allele, sorry, heads is allele 1, tails is allele 2. So for example, I will demonstrate for you what I mean. You're going to flip twice. If you would like to just flip 2 dominoes, you can flip 2 dominoes at the same time. So here we go. For the eye color of parent number 1, this is what I flipped. Okay, I have 2 tails because we said last time that the dots were heads, so the blank side will be tails. So what that means is tails is allele number 2. My genotype for the female monster is going to be little e, which means her phenotype is going to be 1 large eye. And you're going to do that for all of the traits in the female and in the male. Remember to include the XY chromosomes for the sex-linked traits. So this one, when you're rolling for the sex-linked traits, the female you're going to roll twice. The male, obviously, you're only going to roll once because the male has to have a Y chromosome there. There has to be a Y in the male because males are XY. Then what you're going to do is for every single one of these traits, you're going to figure out what the offspring is going to look like. Next, figure out the genotype of the offspring. You'll have a selection of genotypes for mom, a selection of genotypes for dad, and you're going to put those on every single one of these, and then you're going to get 4 cards. You're going to get a card for each suit. So, you know what, let's just, for my monster, let's do dad here. I'll demonstrate the eye color one, or the eye shape one. Here we go. Nope, that was bad. Do it again. Aha! Heads, heads. Here we go. Now let's make it more interesting. Heads, tails. Let's say that that's what I flipped, which means for the male monster, I'm going to have 1 big E and 1 little e, because I got a heads and a tails. Which means the phenotype for the male monster is going to be what? 2 small eyes. And dad is heterozygous for this trait. So now when I flip a head here, and I go to my eyes, the female monster is going to be little e, The male monster is going to be big E, little e. So then all of the possible genotypes are going to be these. These are all of the possible genotypes of the children, and they have well, it's going to be 50-50. So what you're going to do is for when you're determining the genotype, you're going to come to me and I've got a deck of cards. You're going to get 4 cards. Number doesn't matter, only the suits matter. We've got a spade, for those of you who've never played cards. That's a spade, that's a club, that's a heart, that's obviously a diamond. Well, that's obviously a heart too. Spade, club, heart, diamond. Also called a club. What you're going to do is you're going to put them face down. You're going to shuffle them up random, and then someone's going to pull a card. Penny, would you mind turning around and pulling a card? Pick a card, any card. You drew a diamond, which means the offspring is going to be this one down here. So you're going to go ahead, and you're going to flip ahead, and you're going to say, okay, the genotype of the baby monster is going to be the diamond that Panit drew, little e, little e. The baby monster is going to have the recessive one large I. You're going to figure out all of the genotypes for the offspring, and now you're going to make the baby monster. I do not have you guys drawing 3 monsters. I just have you drawing the baby. Sorry? Yeah, I figured 3 was a lot. These guys, unless I have you working in 3s and one draws mom, one draws dad, and one draws baby, you still are only drawing 1 monster then. How could we do that? Do I have an option to do that? Let's maybe want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, we totally do! We've got a number divisible by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We totally do. I love it. Okay, for this block, that's what we're going to do. I want you in groups of 3s. So add you're going to have 3 partners. All of you are going to have a dock. Once you have determined all 3 tables, one of you is going to do baby. One of you is going to draw mom and color and decorate mom. One of you is going to do dad. And we're going to have little families. It's going to be great. Then there's some questions at the end. Not very many. It just says, how does baby monster differ from the parent monsters? You go through all the traits. Are there any traits that the offspring has that neither parent has? That would be interesting if you had some heterozygous parents. All of them, the heterozygous would look dominant, but the baby might not be. Notice in here that there are codominant traits. There is a codominant color. So you're going to have to review what it means for codominance to be a thing. There is an incomplete dominance, and there is a sex-linked trait, in addition to the regular dominance ones. There's a codominance, an incomplete, and a sex-linked. If you need to review what those mean as you're going, let me know. And I can review, or you could flip back in your notes. You have all the power to do that yourself or discuss with your partners. This is your task. If you've got questions while you're going, let me know. But now you may begin. So you with your partner, plural, and I want you in groups of 3. So maybe a really easy way to do it is for you 2 to turn around and join the teams. And then Vikram and Karndeep, you guys can get over those tables. In your table groups, here you go. Come grab 2 dominoes, do some flipping, and a set of 4 cards. Those are
On the stage.
Yeah, you want to be suit. Four cards. One of each suit. It's 4 suit. 2 dominoes, 4 suit. There you go. Yeah, go fast. Sorry?
Can I have a diamond?
If there is one. If there's not one, then no. Either someone else has it or there isn't one. This deck may have been. Glue. I have a glue sticks in that box. That's what the blank pages, you glue them down. I mean, or you can tape them if you want, but I have glue. I don't have tape.